Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you. You are much too kind. Thank you. Thank you. I am Michael Buckheiser, and this is Just for Clicks. I am the king of the trolls, the king of the puns, and the king of the sound effects. Today, guys, today, it's week 17 of the NFL season. We are going to pick some NFL games. We're going to pick some players to watch in our FanDuel pick'ems. All that and much more right after a little bit of song.
There's a face smile and cut wrist, wishing you could walk right up to him, show him the scars and say, look, you're the reason that I've done this. Maybe they will finally understand and go back to how it was before it all began. But he's just a little different, so they taunt him and they beat him. Yeah, it's all just fun and games, they don't give a damn. Yeah, his older brother ain't around, in and out of jail, hanging with the wrong crowd. He's been doing coke, smoking weed, getting drunk all his life.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Just for Clicks. I am Michael Buckheiser, like I said previously, and we're going to pick some week 17 NFL games. These games are very, very hard to pick because you don't know who is going to play, who is going to sit, who is going to scoreboard watch. So I want to do my very, very, very best, which I am awesome at. I am by far the best sports pick'em on this show. I mean, there ain't nobody better than me on like on here. So the key of picking week 17 games is basically knowing what teams hate each other, what teams don't want teams to get into the playoffs, and like what teams clinch playoff seeds to where their game doesn't matter like anymore. I.e., if the Rams beat the Cardinals, the Bears have no chance of moving up and getting that first round bye. So timing of these games is what is really, really important at the end at the end of the day. So we're going to start off with the 1:00 games. We had the Miami Dolphins 7-8 on the season playing a 5-15 Buffalo Bills team. Miami has kind of been surprising this year. They were in the playoff hunt up until last week, but they unfortunately lost to Jacksonville Jaguars, which has to be heartbreaking, losing to a division foe, getting knocked out of the playoff picture. So with that being said, I saw some rumors floating around that they are looking to shop Ryan Tannehill in the season. He is questionable. He's probably going to sit out. Miami traveling to a Buffalo Bills team. If you guys have ever listened to any of my shows before, you never pick a warm weather team going to the cold, playing when it's below 32 degrees. The kickoff forecast is supposed to be sunny, but 30 degrees. That's why I got to go with the Buffalo Bills. There is no point spread. So Buffalo Bills outright. The next 1:00 game, you have the Detroit Lions versus the Detroit Lions are 5-10 on the season, playing a 6-8-1 Green Bay Packers team. Detroit they pretty much pissed away their season when they traded Golden Tate and whoever else they traded. Everybody thought the Green Bay Packers were folding up shop when they traded Ty Montgomery. They traded that cornerback as well. But looking at the injuries, Jimmy Graham's probably questionable. He's probably going to sit out. Randall Cobb is questionable. He'll probably sit out. Devontae Adams is questionable. He'll probably sit out as well. So everything's kind of adding up in the Detroit Lions' favorite here. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers wants to go out like a punk on this last game of the season. He wants to make this Green Bay Packer job a desirable place to play. So therefore, he's going to come out and play very, very well. They're going to get that 7 win on the season. And let's be honest, you don't want to lose to the Detroit Lions. Green Bay Packers win this game. Next up, you have the 4-11 New York Jets playing the 10-5 New England Patriots. So this is where it gets interesting, guys. So if New England Patriots win, San Diego Chargers lose, and the Kansas City Chiefs lose, the New England Patriots can clinch home field advantage and that number 1 overall seed in the AFC. So of course they're going to come out and want to pound the New York Jets. This is where that scoreboard watching starts to come into play. Granted, they are playing that 1:00 game, but they're going to come out and they're going to play and they're going to win. I don't think the game is going to be even close. I think the Patriots win by 21 points at least. They find their playoff groove and they're rolling. And speaking of clinching playoff spots here, I believe the Saints have clinched that number one overall seed in the NFC. They are playing a 6-9 Carolina Panthers team that they just played a couple weeks ago. And the Saints are 13-2 on the season, and they have clinched home field advantage actually. So with all that being said, I think they're going to sit a lot of their guys. I think I don't anticipate Drew Brees playing a whole lot. I don't think Kamara plays a whole lot. They get people healthy. They play that. They play the first half, maybe some of the third quarter as well. But come fourth quarter, they're all sitting. With that being said, I think Carolina tries to keep it close, but I think the death of the Saints outweigh the death of the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers have pretty much folded up shop on the season. The spread is only 7.5, so I picked the Saints to win outright, but the Carolina Panthers covered the spread. All right, guys. So moving on to another game that doesn't matter at all. The Dallas Cowboys 9-6. They had that number 4 seed locked. They can't move up. They can't move down. Playing a 5-10 Giants team. The Cowboys are on record saying that they're playing their guys all game. I don't think that is going to happen. They will play first quarter, maybe, or the first half, maybe a little bit of the third quarter as lock as well. But they aren't going to play a whole lot. With that being said, I'm going to pick the New York Giants to win this game because Cowboys aren't playing their guys at the end of the day. So New York Giants. The next 1 o'clock game, you have the Atlanta Falcons, 6-9 on the season, playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, 5-10. This game doesn't matter. It has no playoff indications. I don't even know who the Tampa Bay is starting. Are they starting Jameis Winston? Are they starting Fritz Magic? It doesn't matter. Buccaneers are horrible, guys. They're not a very fun team to watch. I want Matt Ryan to throw for like 500 yards. I want Julio Jones to get 3 or 4 scores. So that's why I'm going to pick the I'm picking the Atlanta Falcons to win this game, just to bump them up in that 7-win column there. Hopefully, they get some offseason moves and just find their groove. Next up, you have 5-10 Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the 10-5 Houston Texans. I think Houston can possibly move up to a 2 seed if the Patriots lost. So this is where game watching starts to really take effect. Usually, those East Coast games move a little bit faster than the Central Time Zone games. I don't know why. Maybe they start a little bit later. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So the Houston Texans are going to be scoreboard watching. If the Patriots go up by 20 points or more, early, watch them to sit their starters. Watch them to, be, hey, we're okay, be in the 3 seed. It is what it is. So with that being said, I'm picking the Jaguars to win this game. I think they kind of want to end on that 2-game winning streak. They knocked the Dolphins out of the playoff race, and what better way to end a season than to play, a Houston or to beat a Houston Texans team that is playoff bound and bound to make some noise in the playoffs. So that's why I'm picking the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, guys. So now we get to really fun scoreboard wall watching here. You have 11-4 LA Chargers taking on a 6-9 Denver Broncos team. This is where scoreboard watching is going to be at its funnest here. If the Chiefs start to pull away against the Raiders early and often, look for the Chargers to kind of fold up shop and be like, hey, you know what? We are done. So with that being said, I'm picking the Denver Broncos to win this game. They are 6-9 and like on the season, playing really not very good as of late. They've lost 3 in a row. They lost to the Broncos, they lost to the Browns, they lost to the 49ers, and with that, I'm going to change my pick. I forgot that they have, I believe they fired their head coach or looking to fire their head coach, and I think San Diego just wants to come out and make a statement, saying that the loss last week to the Ravens really is not them. So that's why the Chargers come out and they beat the Broncos and they beat them bad. And moving on to the Oakland Raiders, 4-11 on the season, playing the Kansas City Chiefs team that are 11-4 on the season, as same as the San Diego Chargers. If the Chiefs win, they are the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. If they lose, they could even drop down to a 5 seed. So this game is huge for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's why I anticipate them to get back on their ways, jump up on Oakland early, so they can rest the guys. They need a good week and a week and a half off. So I'm picking Kansas City to win, and I think it's going to be ugly, guys. I think it's it is not going to be the 40 to 33 game that we saw earlier in the month here. I think the Chiefs are going to be 40, but hopefully their defense shows up and holds them to like 20 points or so. So I'm picking Kansas City to win this game. Alrighty, and moving on to the 49ers versus the Rams. This game does not mean a whole lot. The Rams are 12-3 on the season. 49ers are 4-11. Rams are probably going to sit most of their guys. 49ers come out and win this game because the Rams are sitting their guys. So 49ers on this one. Now, this is where it gets exciting. The Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. Bears are 11-4 on the season. Vikings are 8-6-1. This is where the excitement of the playoffs start to happen. This is where scoreboard walking is at its finest. So the Bears have a chance to jump up into that number 2 seed if the Rams lose, which they won't. I misspoke on my last pick. I had the Rams beating the 49ers. I misspoke on the previous pick. So with that being said, if the Rams win, the Bears cannot move up in their seeding. So then you kind of get into the question: do you want to play the same team 3 times in like a season, or do you want to beat your division foe and hopefully the Eagles win? Apologize for that. And this is where I think the Bears want to knock the Vikings out of the playoff picture. So the Bears are going to come out firing, and they're going to win this game because Kirk Cousins doesn't perform in big games. Kirk Cousins is an overrated quarterback, and this is a big game. If they win, they're in the playoffs. If they lose, they have to have the Eagles lose. So that's why I'm thinking the Bears will win this game. It's going to be a 7 to 10 point game. Another good game here. We have Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, 8-6-1 on the season. Bengals are 6-9. If the Steelers win this game and Baltimore loses, they win division. If Steelers lose, they're out. That's why the Steelers are they're going to come out, play a fantastic game. They're going to look like the Steelers that started 7-2 on the season and not drop their last 4 or their last 6 or whatever it is. So I'm picking the Steelers to win this game. Next up, we have Arizona Cardinals, 3-12 on the season, taking on a 9-6 Seahawks team. The Seahawks team, they do have the wild card seed locked. It's just a matter of where they're going to fall. If they lose, I believe they can drop down to the 6th seed. If they win, they got a lock on the 5 seed. So I think the Seahawks are going to kind of be picking and choosing who they want to play at the end of the day. Do you want to play a Bears team? You win. Or sorry, you lose because they'll be the 3 seed. Do you want to play the Cowboys the first round? You win. I think they want to play the Cowboys. That's why I think they win. So Seahawks over the Cardinals, probably by 10, 12 points. And now the fun begins. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Redskins. Eagles must win to have a chance at the playoffs, and the Vikings must lose. That's why I think the Eagles come out and win this game. Nick Foles has a great game. Shows the people why he was the NFL MVP, and the Redskins are just they got bit by the injury bug. I think they're now like their fifth string quarterback or something like that. So that's why the Eagles win this one, and they win it by, say, 5. Next up, you have the Cleveland Browns, 7-1 on the season, taking on a 9-6 Ravens team. This game is probably one of the most important games that the Browns have played in a long time. They win. They are above 500 team for the first time since 2002. If they win, they knock the Ravens out of the playoffs, potentially, if the Steelers win. If the Ravens win, they are in the playoffs, and they get a 10-win season, and they are potentially the most dangerous team in the AFC. Baker Mayfield has thrown just under 3,400 yards on the season, 24 touchdowns. Nick Chubb is almost 1,000 yards on the season. Give me a second. I gotten bitten by the injury bug as well. But we live. We can't edit it out. So I'm thinking the Browns win this game because they want to show the world that they are for real for next year. They want to make this game. They want to make this head coaching job a very enticing head coaching job. Potentially bringing in some of the big name head coaches, and they want to be over 500. So that's why the Browns win this game, potentially knocking the Ravens out of the playoffs. And then it all comes down to game 252 on the season. You have the Indianapolis Colts 9-6 on the season, taking on the Tennessee Titans team 9-6 as well. The winner of this game gets the 6th seed in the AFC playoffs. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 6th seed in the NFC or the AFC playoffs. Looking at potential MVP Andrew Luck. He's having a pretty damn good season. He has 4,300 yards, 36 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. Marcus Mariota only 2,500 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The Mack truck, as they like to call him up there in Indy, a little under 800 yards on the season. Henry had an awesome game a couple weeks ago. He's just under 1,000 yards with 12 touchdowns as well. T.Y. Hilton is leading the way receiving wise for the Colts as well. Past 5, Colts are trending up, guys. They beat Houston, they beat the Cowboys, they beat the Giants. Titans are trending up too, but look who they played as well. Jets, Jacksonville, Giants, Washington, all trash. With all that being said, give me Andrew Luck, give me the Colts, because I think they have the best chance to make some noise as a 6th seed getting into the playoffs. Everything comes down to the final snap of the year. Give me the Colts, win by 6, because Andrew Luck is an MVP caliber quarterback. Does he win it? Nah.
Type of marketing is marketing that doesn't feel like marketing. It makes the people feel like they are part of it. And when it's done right, corporations think it's marvelous. They feed us these ideas and then we place them in our hearts to sit. It's why players are good at getting chicks. It's why Nike is good at selling.